What's up, guys? Nate Dog FPV here. Today we're going to be looking at some flight footage from the second Baby Hawk R spec race of our 2018 season. So we've got 3 local chapters involved in this series. We started with a spec race mainly to give new pilots an opportunity to come out and race without being outmatched as far as the quad goes. So we're using the 2-inch Baby Hawk R. We can have arm upgrades, so for example I have the 2.5-inch arms on mine, but you do have to have the stock 6000 kV motors, you have to be running the stock 2-inch A-van props, have to have the stock canopy, have to have the capacitor on there still, so I've added a little shark fin to mine, but for the most part mechanically the quad has to be stock. So this is our second race of this series. Has definitely been a lot of fun getting out and racing with everyone, and really with everyone on the same playing field because of the quad. Definitely makes it a lot of fun. I did pretty well today overall. I actually tied for second place. I had to do a race off to determine second and third. Luckily I did win the race off, so I ended up in second place. I've had to do several race offs in the past few months, and this is the first one I've actually won, so pretty awesome to finally win a race off. But yeah, we'll look at the flight footage from today, some of the heats and how I did. We'll look at the footage from the race off also.
Alright guys, so here we're seeing some HD footage of the spot we were flying. This is actually in Daphne, Alabama. Across the water there is Mobile, Alabama. Really a beautiful spot. Here we're seeing the track. We just passed the start gate. We've got a slalom here made up of gates. We've got a split S. And we're going to be coming back across the field to another split S. And after that, we're going to go around this flag, around the next flag, between the trees, and we're going to go over the walkway and back through the start gate. Notice the little creek running along that side of the field near the start gate, so definitely there was some danger on this track. We actually did have one pilot that clipped the start gate and their Baby Hawk went into the water. Someone actually did get it out for him quickly, and surprisingly it still actually flew. The pilot was actually able to finish the race even with that same Baby Hawk that went in the water. So here we're seeing Heat 2. Notice there's no Heat 1. I actually had video issues straight out of the gate on Heat 1. So bad I couldn't even fly, so Heat 1 was pretty much a waste. Luckily after that heat I was able to switch to a different video channel that fixed that problem. So here we're seeing Heat 2. So overall this was definitely a fun track. Very well designed for a Baby Hawk. I think most pilots were averaging probably around 20-second laps or a little over 20 seconds. Our fastest pilot I think was getting down to around 16 or 17-second laps. But definitely a fun track. Definitely have to use some caution around the start gate, like I said, because of the water there. But overall it was definitely a fun track. Just finished up our 5th lap. Time is getting close to running out at this point, so I'm not actually going to be able to finish this next lap before the 2 minutes. So at this point we're looking at 6 laps for Heat 2, which is pretty good. Here we are finishing and with 6 laps for the Heat 2. So next up, notice we're going to jump into Heat 4. So actually in Heat 3 I had some issues with some other Baby Hawks right near the start. Actually had a little collision and kind of shot my quad off in the woods there. so turtle mode was not an option, so heat 3 was also a waste. It did not get any laps that heat. So in our race format, we do 5 heats and you count your best 3. So at this point I've got 0 laps for heat 1 and 0 laps for heat 3, and in heat 2 I have 6 laps. So at this point in heat 4 and heat 5 they have to count. If I'm going to have any chance of getting on the podium for this race, I have to do good in heat 4 and heat 5. So definitely feeling the pressure here. Just trying to stay consistent, trying to get to 7 laps. On heat 2 I was actually probably about 10 seconds short of being able to finish before time ran out to start that 7th lap. So this time I'm trying to push it a little bit harder and hopefully get to the point of getting 7 laps. Our fastest pilot on the day actually was able to get 7 laps several times, running just a little bit faster than everyone else. But that is definitely what I'm shooting for here. So we're coming in here, getting ready to finish up our 5th lap. At this point we're close to being on pace to get 7 laps, so definitely pushing right here, trying to get up there and finish this lap before time expires. Unfortunately I did not make it. Time expired right around this turn here, so I was just a little bit shy of being able to finish the 6th lap in time to start the 7th. So for heat 4 I was able to get 6 laps again though, putting me in a pretty good place, but still keeping the pressure on in heat 5, because again, if I don't do well in heat 5, then I have no chance of being on the podium for the race. Just finished up the 5th lap there. At this point I feel like I'm on pace to be able to get 7 laps. Just got to keep it clean, but I think I have enough time left. And unfortunately, as you saw right there, I actually had a crash, so that is definitely going to make 7 laps impossible. At this point I still need 6 laps to have a chance at the podium. Luckily I was able to use turtle mode and get it flipped back over. At this point I'm just going to cruise here, finish up this last lap to give me 6 laps. Luckily that was enough to put me in a tie for 2nd place with 18 laps on the day. So at this point, the way we do the race-offs is the first to 3 laps. So here we're going to see the race-off. Notice the other pilot did get a jump on me there from the start. Luckily I was able to overtake them in the 1st lap. So at this point I'm just trying to stay consistent and not crash. Of course the other pilots are cheering, so I know it's a close race. So at this point I'm just trying to be consistent, like I said, and just avoid crashing. I've actually been in several race-offs before this one, 3 to be exact, all of which I have managed to lose somehow. When I was very close to winning the race-off and unfortunately crashed on the last lap right at the end. Ended up losing that one, or taking second place in that one. So definitely a lot of pressure for this race-off, and definitely need to get a win under my belt during a race-off. So like I said, at this point, just trying to stay consistent and not crash. At this point, I was able to hear the pilots cheering, so I knew he was coming. I knew it was close, so I was pushing at the end. Luckily, I was able to get through the finish line first, and with 3 laps, so that did give me second place on the day.
Guys, so you've seen it. There goes the flight footage from our second Baby Hawk R Spec race. Again, had a ton of fun racing today. It was a great time. Really appreciate the Delta 5 FPV guys putting on the race, making it possible. Again, I was thrilled to end up in second place for the day. Had a great time. We'll be doing more of these races throughout the year, so definitely looking forward to the next one. But again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and like, and we'll see you on the next one.